Okay. Peace and blessings, everyone. My name is Nakia Porter, and I am the um, current acting program director for IAM SAC Foundation. And my primary focus right now is helping to connect our community with the activities that are happening at Stephon's house. And so I want to go and share with you all what will be happening in the coming months as we go into the second quarter, and that's um, April, May, June timeframe. And so listen in, lock in. If you have a notebook, take some notes and get ready to explore the activities that we have to commemorate the life and legacy of Stephon Alonzo Clark. Currently, we have our donations here for those that want to love, share, and support Stephon's house and the work that we're doing. And it's very important that all of those that want to participate, engage, and support the I Am SAC Foundation, that you understand the foundational principles of the SAC 6 that were created by Stephon Clark and shared with all of us in order for us to be better people, better community, better world. And so, starting off with the first one here, we have to bridge the gap between law enforcement and at risk communities. And something that Stevante stresses on very importantly is that before we can bridge the gap with at risk communities, we have to make sure that we can do this through dialogue and that we bridge the gaps in between communities and communities. And this will be done as a part of Stephon's Sundays and having that open dialogue with the community and then going towards law enforcement in order to make it a safer place for all of us. To inform and educate on policy and legislative change is our second of the SAC 6. And when we talk about inform, that is meaning facts. And when we talk about educating, that's to provide moral, social, and intellectual structure. And these things here are an example of what was actually put into law, which was Stephon Clark's law, which is a legacy on paper. And this was Assembly Bill 392 and is an example of these changes. Although not all of what we may have wanted at this particular point in time, it is a step in the right direction. So the more that we can continue to educate ourselves on these policies and the legislative change, we can put ourselves in the driver's seat. And this will fall into the Civil Rights Academy, and this will be housed in the Liberated Minds Classroom. Going into our third is to provide resources and healing spaces for those in need in the community. And this is very important because we're talking about the entire house is a resource center, right? And so this will allow them to empower themselves and give them the ability to self-educate. We are helping our community to learn how to fish, right? And healing goes hand in hand with this work. Without the healing, there really can be a lot of chaos and a lot of internal dysfunction. So the healing has to go hand in hand, and that will happen within the healing and meditation room that we will have in the center. Going into our fourth is to commemorate the legacy of Stephon Clark in a positive light, right? Making sure that his life and his legacy will continue to live on in everything that we do. And it's awesome. We get to do this as a part of the museum. And so the museum will go throughout the inner workings of the entire house. Children of all ages and adults will be able to continue to learn what his life was before and what his life and legacy leaves behind, as well as other members of the civil rights community or those that have lost their lives to law enforcement and sharing their stories. Because not only were they victims of police brutality or community violence, but they were human. They were people and they lived full lives. And we want to be able to commemorate that in a positive light. Going on to number 5 is to receive recommendations from the community on how to prevent something like this from ever happening again. So again, with that open dialogue, it's very important that we have community outreach, partnerships and collaborations like the Legacy Weekend that is happening right now for making change. So not only do we want to talk about being changed, but we want to capture this information as actionable items that we can use to gauge how progress is being made, and then also to hold us all accountable for the visions, the statements that we make in order to be the change that we want to see in the world. And we can do that together by getting those recommendations from our community. And last but not least, we have Everybody Love Everybody. I really love how Stevante shares with us from John 15:12 that this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have beloved you. And then also John 15:18. If the world hates you, keep in mind that it hated me first. And so in this work that is being done, uh, for me, this really shares that if you have no love for yourself, you cannot love anyone else. So this is something that we all have to take a personal stake in and say, I need to be a better lover of myself so I can be a better lover in my relationships, be a better lover of my friends, my community, and then the entire world. And then that's how we get to everybody love everybody. So love yourself so we can love each other, so we can continue to grow together. So now that we've gone through and reviewed the SAC 6, I want to share with you, as I mentioned, in between going over to SAC 6, some of the rooms that will be there. And in Stephon's house, it will include the Children's Haven. This is their space where the library, the books are there, where they can come and they can play. And it's a really, really good environment for them to be in, to grow, right, and share and be better than the day before. The next room is the Liberated Minds Classroom in Computer Lab. In this space, this is where different lectures like the Civil Rights Academy or healing through poetry sessions, educational on math, technology, like I said, the computer lab, these classes will happen in that space. Then the Healing and Meditation Center. This is where activities like yoga, meditation, even therapy sessions, massage will happen because, as we mentioned before in the SAC 6, the healing is very important to this entire work because it can become very, very heavy and there's a lot of trauma and the healing has to be ongoing. Then we have our welcome center and shop where majority of the members, when they come in, will come into this space. And so this is our space to welcome you in, provide you with all the information that you need, be able to ask questions, show you need support, or if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. And then also where you can come and support Stephon's house, whether that's with different material, shirt, or other merchandise, or even just becoming a member to continue to sustain this work that we're doing. Then we have the music production studio, where creative work will be done by the community, sharing the creativity that's within with the rest of the world. And then everything, as we remember, Stephon's house is a library, museum, and resource center. So you will find books all throughout the entire center, making sure that we continue to educate ourselves and grow beyond our current capacities so that we can be the change that we wish to see in the world. Upcoming programs in the next quarter, we have Museum Mondays, Stephon Sundays, Healing Through the Arts, Holistic Healing to Thrive, Civil Rights Academy, Physical Fitness is My Business, YEYOs program, and Cultivating the Garden of the Mind. Stay tuned with us. Again, my name is Nakia Porter, and I am here as Program Director for IAM SAC Foundation. And currently, you can email me at melanindayschoolacademy@gmail.com. And for your interest in supporting with this, whether you are a healer or whether you are a singer or musician or an artist or a teacher, educator, whether you work in the government with policy and legislation, whether you are a physical fitness trainer of any sorts or full holistic mind and body, please do reach out to me again at melanindayschoolacademy@gmail.com. With that, I will close it out and say, remember that in order to be the change that you want to see, you have to take action. And with that action, you need to know the purpose of your action. So please do love, share, and donate with us, right? During this legacy weekend, come on in. We'll be at the Stephon's house from 10 to 1. I will be there. You'll have this video. Feel free to reach out to me for more information. Again, I've given the email, and thank you all. Bless you, and watch how we transform any type of negativity into a positive light. Love you all. Peace, love, and light.